ahead and prep my potato salad. I have about 2 pounds of red potatoes here. I went ahead and cut off some spots or eyes that have been growing on them. I had this bag. It's a 3-pound bag, but I only used about 2 pounds. It had been in my pantry for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and cover these potatoes with cold water and add some kosher salt. And then I'll put these on my back burner to boil away for about 30 to 40 minutes until they're fork tender. In the meantime, I'm going to cut up my vegetables. I have here what's remaining of a bunch of celery from my fridge, probably about 5 or 6 stalks there. I'm going to finely chop these stalks and the leaves as well. Those all get put into a big bowl, and with this end, I'm going to throw that in a freezer bag. I'm going to cut up the onion here. This is about 1/3 of one yellow onion that I'm going to dice and put into the big bowl. Those scraps go into the freezer bag as well to use for vegetable stock later on. Here's a hard-boiled egg that I made earlier in the week, and everyone has their own method. I do the boil for 15 minutes, or bring to a boil and then cover for 15 minutes off the heat. Removing the shells off of that was kind of hard. Okay, then I dice the egg, and I'm going to set that off to the side because I realize I need to work on my dressing for the vegetables. So I'm going to pull out some mayonnaise, sour cream, and yellow mustard. Duke's is the best. I'm just using what I have left in here. That might have been like 1/3 of a cup. Couple squeezes of the ketchup, a couple tablespoons of the sour cream, and stir away. Salt, pepper, and dill goes into the mix. Taste it, smell it, add whatever you want. There you go. Go into the eggs, and now I'm going to stir that all together. Oh, looks like our potatoes have finished boiling. They are hot and steamy. I'm letting them cool down over a tea towel in a colander here. Now after I let them cool for like, I don't know, 3 minutes, I couldn't stand it and I just started cutting them. They just get cut into a medium dice. I leave the skins on. The skins get kind of funky. Oh, and there I get a little hug. Thank you. And just keep chopping away and adding them into the bowl. So I just keep chopping and adding them to the bowl and seeing how much dressing I have versus how many vegetables I have in there until I feel like I have a good combination, a good ratio of potatoes to vegetables. And this is about right. I ended up with 2 unused potatoes that I will save for something else. And at this time I realized it needs a little more mustard, sour cream, just a little bit more. Got a little dry on me. Taste it. Passes the taste test. So perfect. So in my crock pot here, I've put 3 pretty thick pork chops in there. I should have kind of like cut some fat off of them, but I didn't. And over top, I just mixed together some barbecue sauce that I had. It was maybe half of a jar left over. And I just mixed in some apple cider vinegar, some yellow mustard, a little bit of ketchup, and some hot sauce. And I've lined it with one of these Reynolds liners. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this. Okay, plugged in. And we'll do select low. And I'll just put it at like 6 hours, and I'll just check on it maybe in about 4 hours. It's only at 11:30 right now, so all right, so here's the meat all cooked up. Let me focus. This is just the pork, and I've done the sauce in there, and I've shredded it, and now I'm bringing it back up to temperature because it finished really early in the day, and I didn't want it to overcook, so I took it out, put it in the fridge, took it back out, shredded it, put it back with the sauce in the crock pot with the same liner. So it's on high right now, and I just set it for 30 minutes, but I'll just let it go till it's done. And then over here, I've taken out the potato salad that I made yesterday. I just put it in this container. It's a lot of potato salad in here, but yeah, so I just wanted to take that out of the fridge so that it has a chance to kind of
come up to temperature, get a little bit of the cold fridge temperature off of that so that it's warmed up.
And here's dinner all plated up. We have the pork, the potato salad, and just a green salad.
I'm gonna prep some dinner. This is for another night, but I want to go ahead and get this going. So this is a top round steak here. It's just about a little over 1 pound. It's 1.01 pounds. So a whole pound will be great for me and Matt. And what I did here was I made a chimichurri sauce, which is, I used about half of a bunch of parsley and maybe 3/4 of a bunch of cilantro, and I blitzed that around, cut up with onion, raw garlic, lemon juice or lime if you have it. You can also just use red wine vinegar, any acid really, olive oil, and it just turns out to be this kind of paste.
And I rubbed that all over the London broil, and you can see here all of the flecks of herbs that were in there, cilantro, parsley. I used a little bit more than half of it on the meat itself. So this I'm just gonna let go overnight in the fridge, and that will adhere a lot of flavor into the meat. So it's the night of, and I am slicing up some green pepper and red pepper. I had a variety pack, so I decided to use about half of both of these colors, but one whole bell pepper should work. And I have a yellow onion here that I'm slicing up into little half moons, and I found this red onion in my fridge and thought I'd try to use it. So we'll go to the stove, put a little oil in the pan, and saute our vegetables. I'm going to add fajita seasoning and cumin to these to give them some flavor, and just saute those up. Here I'm slicing up some of the toppings, some avocado. That tub of chicken broth there, I added to the peppers and onions to soften them up. So I added a little bit of that and then covered them. Here I'm grating some cheese, getting out some other toppings, the lettuce and sour cream. Not sure if those are customary for fajitas, but we like them. So here the peppers are pretty much done, and I'm going to come in and put the steak in the same pan. And through the magic of video, the steak has finished and rested, and I'm slicing it. I cooked it for probably 6 or 7 minutes aside. It was a pretty thick piece. So here's our finished spread. I have the meat in a bowl and the vegetables and toppings on plates, and we just make our own.